Senior reporter Josh Longton here with
Mr. Hansen.
So, Mr. Hansen, we got a few questions about social studies. So, what classes are you required to take after geography as a freshman?
Geography is for freshmen or honors geography, and then as a sophomore, you're going to take U.S. history or AP U.S. history. Then as a junior, you're going to take world history or college Western Civ. You can also take that as a senior, I guess. And then you also need government and economics, and those can be taken either as a junior or senior.
So can you tell us who the teachers are and what classes they teach?
Well, it could change from year to year, but typically Mr. Soland has taught geography. Myself and Mr. Juergens teach U.S. history. I teach AP U.S. history. I teach college Western Civ. Mrs. Abrahams and myself have done world history. Mr. Juergens does, besides U.S. history, does psychology, sociology. But, some of that shuffles from year to year, but that's pretty much how it's been the last couple.
So do you have any tips for future freshmen?
Keep yourself organized, know what's due and when it's due, and make sure you get your assignments in on time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hansen.
You bet.
Senior reporter Jordan Schneeberger here with Mr. Solon. So, Mr. Solon, I'm wondering, what classes do you teach here at the high school?
At the 9th grade level, I have geography and honors geography, and then I also teach senior high economics.
Very nice. So what are some tips for some incoming freshmen into the high school?
I would say the number one tip that I could give you is to be organized. A lot of people come in my class, and it's everything everywhere, and that's not a good way to start.
Definitely not. So, what would you say you can expect from the high school experience?
Well, I think about for 8th graders coming in, I think the biggest change is that there's a lot more independence. People aren't being watched over every single minute of the day, which makes you have to be a lot more responsible for your own stuff. For some people, that's tough to do. Others, they go in stride. But I think that is, for the 9th graders, the biggest thing is.
So what would you say that you can expect from geography?
I think the biggest thing what you'd probably could expect in this class is that you're going to learn what it's like to be around the world. In other words, to know that there's so much more out there than Fergus Falls, Minnesota. We start looking at culture, we start looking at religion, race, all those things that are different than maybe Fergus Falls, and it's a good eye-opening experience for a lot of my kids.
It's good to have an eye-opener.
Senior reporter Josh Longton here with Tyler Jorgensen. So Tyler, what was your favorite class in high school and why?
Probably economics with Mr. Soland.
And what tips do you have for freshmen next year?
Ask questions when you need them. Teachers are there to help you, so they'll help you when you need it.
All right, thank you. Senior reporter Josh Longton here with Mr. Strand. So, Mr. Strand, what classes do you teach here in the high school?
I'm lucky enough to teach college pre-calculus and college calculus.
And what classes are you required to take each year in the high school?
Well, a typical tract would be for a 9th grader to take Algebra 1, and for a sophomore to take geometry, a junior to take Algebra 2. And so there's your 3 that are required. And then you have a choice. You could take, pre-calculus, stats, college functions, college trig. If you're an 8th grader that took Algebra 1, so you're accelerated in the math, you're still required to take those 3 years of 3 courses of math. So, it might be geometry, Algebra 2, and then like a pre-calculus, perhaps calculus after that, or college function and college trig.
So, what's your favorite math class to teach?
Ooh. That's a toss-up because I got one of you that takes college pre-calc for me, and the other one's taking college calc. So it might be a toss-up. I don't think I could pick one. I love both of them, and the students that are in there are just really, awesome kids. And I would say they're the best kids around the school.
Yeah, well, that's good. All right. So what tips do you have for future freshmen in math?
There's 3 things I always say. Number one, to do well in mathematics, and I think this follows other courses as well, but especially mathematics. To do well in math, you need to be here. Your attendance needs to be consistent. And I also say when you're here, you need to be engaged in the material. You need to be focused on what's going on. So be here both mentally and physically. Number 2, you got to do your homework. Yeah, math isn't like, you don't watch Tiger Woods or pick your favorite golfer and then become a good golfer. So you don't watch your math teacher do the math and then become good at it. So you need to do your work. And then thirdly, and maybe the most important is when you don't understand something, get help. Don't let it drag or all of a sudden you get in that hole. And we've got a lot of teachers around here that are more than willing to help you out. Come and find them in the morning.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Math rocks.
All right. Thank you.
Jordan Schneeberger here with Hannah Baker, and I'm going to ask her about some of her favorite math classes. So Hannah, what is your favorite math class you've taken in high school?
Probably calculus that I'm in right now with Mr. Strand.
I would agree. So do you have any tips for incoming freshmen looking to do well in math?
Do your homework and ask questions.